But don't let that.
Yeah, just just be yourself.
You need to be very candid.
All right.
Don't worry about the tape, okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's recording sound and.
It's not like the Social Security Department.
No.
I'm Chris Hansen with Dateline NBC One UFC right over here.
Huh?
Yeah. Okay.
Never seen that?
Dateline with Chris Hansen.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
So let's see. It's Wednesday.
Hello, sweetheart.
Wednesday the 23rd.
Now you know why I don't go out in public with you.
In the community sharing office, and Tanner's going to do his thing. So,
My
there you go.
thing.
All right.
All right.
Get on
Well,
the table and dancing.
no, that's 10 years from now, not now.
I
Got
ain't got no
paid.
dollars neither.
Ball caps will be accepted.
Told you I joke a lot.
So, I think Tanner's got a list of questions that he came up with, and basically just wants to talk with you about your experience of having been homeless.
And kind of like getting back into a kind of more stream of things, like most other people, like owning a house, having money to buy food and groceries and other things that you need.
Who buys the groceries?
Well, why don't we start
I
out?
still shop at the dumpster.
Why don't you start with your questions, and then
Okay.
maybe that will lead you.
Well, kind of the first question, it's might be a little basic, and I think you might be like, oh, this is obvious.
Okay.
But in a sense, how does someone become homeless, really?
Well, let's see, you gotta work. And not everybody can be doctors and lawyers and fast food people, right?
Yeah.
Or circuit break computer nerds who are over in, well, they don't even have them no more. So, what do you say? The old factory worker's gone. It's all over in China and out of the country.
There's very
Like Pendleton
few.
Wool Mills from Milwaukee, been there forever.
Mhm.
It's in Mexico now. Laid off 1,000 people, I've read in the paper.
Ah, yeah.
Levi's just went to China. How many people have they put out of work?
I think like 2,000.
Yeah.
Something
How many
like that.
Toyota cars you buy? How many Honda cars you buy?
Zero. I don't have any money.
Well, how many Honda cars are in the United States? More than Fords and Chevys and Dodges.
There's like a million.
Yeah, but how many, they outdo the other cars, the Dodges and such. How many people do those people over there overseas pay taxes?
Not that I.
They got a house though, a place to live, don't they? But the factory workers here, they're on the streets now with a sign because they can't afford to get an apartment
Yeah, it's because.
or they can't buy a house. And now the right was Obama taking and knocking down, trying to set Social Security because they got funds because those people ain't working, they can't get a house, they ain't paying taxes.
They can't pay taxes.
They ain't got no money to pay tax, but they gotta eat, so they get food stamps, right? That takes money from the federal government.
Yeah.
So what can I tell you?
Can you talk a little bit about you personally?
Well, that's how it come, because I was living I bought a van so I could live in it and work at an EO down here. But come wintertime,
What's an EO?
Equal Opportunities Employer temp service. But soon as winter came on and nobody vacationed, there was no more jobs slowed down. Didn't make enough money during the
So-
week to buy insurance, so I was out of my van.
But
So-
you had an apartment before that, right?
Huh?
You had an apartment before you had a van?
No,
I'm the office manager. What can
No.
I do for you?
I kind of lived on the streets. I sold things, got a job, bought me a van.
Is this before the wife and kids?
That was after when they took
Okay.
off, whatever. That's after my whatever I call it.
Okay. Okay. So we're at the
This is
place.
way past whatever.
Okay. So we're at the place after you've been married and divorced,
Whatever.
and then you
Lots of background noise.
buy a van
To live in it, yeah, because
Okay.
I had apartments, but jobs downsized, went overseas, whatever.
But you know what?
So finally I got tired, so I live in a van and make not enough money, but I might be able to live in a van, have a roof over my head. But even at about 10 hours a week, it got to be in the wintertime there at EO down there.
So.
I didn't have insurance. I was looking for a full-time, that's why I could work, but I got a ticket.
Okay.
pulled over, no insurance. That's where the van sat, and that's where it was. And I said, to hell with everything. I'll live off of cans and live in a tent or a piece
Okay.
of plastic.
Okay.
So for the EO job, were you basically just given assignments and you just ran off and did
Well, if
them?
they had an opening for somebody who got sick or went on vacation, they hired somebody to fill in for them until they come back.
Oh, so basically you were just
Temporary,
taking-
yeah, temp.
All right. Just steal a job for a week.
But then
For
in
the
the
best.
wintertime, nobody got sick and nobody went on vacation because all the kids were back in school. So the hours went really low. I couldn't afford even insurance on the van, and I got
And then,
nailed before I could get a job, make payments on it, and get insurance again.
so when you,
Oh, and I
excuse me.
just said, I just got on the street, took what clothes I had. And
yeah, so when your car, when you got when you got
The
when you-
van.
the van, yeah, and you were given this ticket, do they just like take it and put it into storage?
No, you can't move it.
Oh, you can't move it, so
You got to
basically,
stay where it's at.
so it's been sitting there for.
Well,
some
no,
time.
they red tag it then. then
So-
a tow truck comes, picks it up, hauls it off. If you can't get out of pay the ticket, whatever, in the storage, within 30 days they put a lien on it and they sell it for what, and then they keep the money.
So something you got and was personal to you, they kind of just say, sorry, you got
Yeah.
nothing.
They
You
put a
get-
lien on it after 30 days, and instead of making a $300-400 tow fee, they could sell it for $15,000 to $2,000, make a $2,000 fee. I was just
Cool.
letting to sell on a piece of property for 30 days.
It's a little harsh.
Yeah, but the tow companies love them things.
Well,
Matter
gotta
of
make
fact,
a living.
M&M Towing.
I mean, yeah, I've seen them everywhere.
Yeah, well, guess what? Down in Woodburn, just on the outside of town, head towards Salem, on the left, they got a used car lot. Guess where they get their cars? After
Oh,
30 days of red tagging.
well, that's equal opportunity.
Good money, too. Get free cars to sell.
So, like most things nowadays, they're just making money off of other people's misery. Wow.
Well, the old Bible says that in the Bible. There's people who make money off of people's misery. Something like that. I ain't going on word for word, but
The sin of, isn't it something like the sin of others is the greed of many or something like that?
yeah.
Am I right?
There's
Because
something-
I don't read the Bible. Remember that.
Yeah,
I
well,
sit in the house all day and sleep. I don't.
All I'm saying is this.
I sleep in the cold in my room.
So the van is gone. You are homeless.
Yeah.
Family of one. Then what?
Yeah, kind of going off of that. Was it a little tough at first, or was it something that
I
kinda
used to go
came down?
hunting and fishing all the time, though.
Oh, so
I,
you were already like challenge accepted. Let's do this.
No, I just figured, well, you got to have shelter. You go find some place where you can sleep with a roof thing cover over your head.
Yeah,
First of all, it
so-
was a bridge. Then I got a piece of plastic. Then I saved up wherever to get some money to buy a little tent.
So the first few cans you got, you saved up a couple, but used the others for money, and kind of got like candy bars, snacks, food like that, and then saved up over and over time until you got like this small but nice tent.
It was small, but I don't know about nice. It's cheap.
True.
Yeah, you make about $2 a day. It's $2-3 a day. So you buy a top ramen back then. You spend about $1.50 on food. Put about $1 away.
So just
Tent-
like on
Well, a two-man pup tent's about maybe back then. I think it was about $20, $24 on sale.
How long ago are we talking? Are we talking 20 years ago
About 91.
when the homelessness started?
Yeah, when I got out of my motor van.
So, just like on a rough memory, how many weeks or days did it take to save up that much money?
I don't know. Probably about 3 or 4 weeks, 5 weeks.
So for about that long, you were kind of like living under a bridge.
Well, that and a piece of plastic. Plastic you find along the road, you know.
So you're back in like an apartment now, and kind of like in an easier lifestyle, right?
Yeah, I guess so. I lived in
Yeah.
a motorhome for a while.
Well, what kind of was the difference you notice now that you're in this kind of like easier living when you like recline now and think back to it? What's like the most normal difference you see?
Hey, you don't have to pack your water. And like I used to have a motorhome I lived in. You're gonna have to pull start your juice generator for your electricity.
Don't have to fight the homeless for turkey and cans.
So just to sort of give you just a second of
I never really
background,
found it. I never really
he
found
went
it.
from the, correct me if I'm wrong on this,
Yeah.
he went from the pup tent to walking all the time, to a policeman
Yeah.
helped him out, befriended him to help him buy a motorcycle, and so then he kind of had wheels, and then from there,
I got food stamps.
when did you go on disability that would give you your income though? When
I found out that I couldn't get a job because there weren't no jobs out there.
So
And I found out that if you did, if there were jobs open, I've been out of work so long, about 91 to about 7, 8 years without doing nothing off the books. It would have been, they weren't going to hire me. And they already had somebody, 3 months out of work they could hire.
so at some point you went from homelessness in a pup tent to no income to some income coming in. You bought a pickup that you made into a motorhome.
No, it was a motorhome.
You bought a motorhome.
Told you.
So
And so, kind of off that, then how much did disability pay? Like
I don't know. Pay me what I worked in past years. Paid, I don't know.
Like $100 a month or so.
No, not disability. More than that.
Oh,
would you feel comfortable just giving a ballpark figure? You don't have to.
like a ballpark figure of like your income, how much you get, and then how much you have to ration out for like food, taxes, and it's kind of like a normal everyday lifestyle, kind of like getting.
Well, I got a letter from the federal government. They told me what I make, and I was rated 30% poverty. So I'm 30% below poverty. But I managed to squeak by.
And you squeak by how?
Well, I used to live in my motorhome, and that was squeaking by too. I get my Social Security disability, and I paid cash for the back checks they gave me on it, and everything, and then with that I buy insurance, and I was able to do pretty good. But then buy gas, I had to buy gas and generators and such, keep them running. And then I would buy a little bit of food, but then I'd have to buy my medicine, which was pretty high, until they come up with that plan.
So.
But then I got into an apartment.
Yeah, and so.
Somebody talked me into that down the road ways. No. It was Canby Center.
Uh-huh.
I was taking somebody over there to help out, and they had this one program about being disabled, single, and a program. They needed people to work on it. And I was disabled, and they called me homeless. But I said, no, I live in a motorhome. You live in a vehicle, that's considered homeless. Yeah, fine. I have my TV and everything. I could watch movies and whatever.
So that's how he's describing to you that a program
I'm paying attention, yeah.
helped him get in.
Yeah, then 2 years after being into that, they got me into Section 8, and that's what I'm on now.
So
I stayed basically different than that in my motorhome is the water, you can just turn, you don't have to worry about it, you just turn the water on, it's there. And you got electricity already there by flicking.
were you happier living in the motorhome, or do you prefer kind of like the current situation where you're getting an apartment? And do you think the apartment's a little comfier?
I spend about the same amount. It's just I got electricity at the fingertips. Don't have to cold start nothing.
Flick of a switch, not 10 pushes.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about your water and everything. And
Yeah.
filling
True.
up your tanks.
So, this is kind of like my guess of a typical day is like your typical day, you wake up, you kind of get your clothes on, you don't really wash them that much, you don't have the time to, correct?
No, I wash them. About once a month. I just hang up keep my grubby clothes hanging up here. And when I go somewhere, I put my other pants on. a good one.
So you have a couple spare